Hey guys, Carl Guthrie with ETS Dental here. Last month we rolled out a new series of videos for interview tips, and we gave you tip numbers 1 and 2. Those tips were designed to get you thinking outside the box, being flexible. That way you can look at various opportunities and hopefully find the best one that's the best fit, earns you the highest income. Now that you are open-minded and a lot more flexible, let's start thinking about the interview. You're going to start applying to positions, and you're going to be hearing back from practices. They're going to call you, email, text you, and that's going to start with tip number 3. Return phone messages and emails quickly. Always try to return that phone call within 24 hours. Best if you can return it, I call it the sundown rule, before the end of the day you receive the message. A prompt response is going to communicate your overall motivation, your level of interest, and in general courtesy. And even if you don't think you're going to be totally interested in that opportunity, always return the phone call. We've seen lots of cases where a dentist will blow off practice A because they're already talking to practice B, but then the practice B opportunity completely falls through. Practice A won't even consider you any longer because you didn't return their phone call. They just won't consider you. So don't let this happen to you. Just return the phone call. And while we're on the topic of phone calls, here's tip number 4. Don't overcomplicate the telephone interview. The goal of the telephone interview is to get the face-to-face meeting. If you're not sure what to expect in a telephone interview, just know that generally you're going to be asked about your background, your overall skill sets, any production history, and what you've succeeded, what you've done in past practices. And you should be prepared to have questions of your own. Ask about the general overall philosophy of the practice. What are the expectations of associates and other employees in the practice? And whatever you do, I strongly urge you and encourage you not to bring up compensation in this conversation. The compensation should be brought up by the employer and generally saved for the face-to-face meeting. And lastly, make sure you ask for the interview. It stinks to get off the phone and you don't know what the next step is. So if you've really enjoyed that conversation with the doctor, ask for the interview. A good way to do it is, hey doc, everything that I've heard sounds really awesome. I would love to come and meet with you, see the office, meet your team, and learn more about the opportunity. What's a good time for me to come next week or in the week after? If all gone well, you're going to set that date and time, and you've got the next step covered, and you won't have to get off the phone with any remaining questions or doubt of what's going to happen next. And as a bonus tip, smile while you're on the phone. It comes through, it sets a great impression. So practice that when you're talking to friends or family. Smile while you're on the phone.